To KNDTV News, and these are the leading stories now at 7. Legal counsel for the State Capture Commission said they would argue in due course that former SAA Technical Board Chair Yake Kwinana was a dishonest witness. In an unusual move, the Commission is sitting in Braamfontein this weekend as it races against the clock to have its work completed in time. Kwinana has taken the stand today to complete her testimony regarding dodgy contracts secured with a company known as JM Aviation. It's alleged Kwinana received millions of rands in kickbacks in exchange for lucrative contracts from SAA to JM Aviation. But Kwinana maintained she did not have a personal financial interest with the company. Residents of a rural Eastern Cape village are fearful of relocation when a multi-billion rand road cuts through their area. Construction of the N2 Wild Coast Toll Road is already forging ahead with a projected completion date of 2025. The N2 Wild Coast Toll Road spans more than 500 kilometers and includes 2 mega bridges. It's touted to improve tourism and will shorten interprovincial trips down the coast by up to 3 hours. The South African National Roads Agency, SANRAL, last year won a court battle which effectively bolsters its position to continue with the 10 billion rands project and says only 2 villages out of the 60 are opposing the new road. Condolences have been pouring in for various political structures in KwaZulu-Natal following the death of Deputy Speaker Mluleki Ndobe. Many have hailed Ndobe, who joined the legislature in 2019 after 2 terms as mayor of Herigwala District Municipality, as selfless servant. Ndobe died at his Durban home in the early hours of this morning with a gunshot wound to his chest. The Deputy Speaker faced legal woes in recent years after he was accused of involvement in the murder of former ANC Youth League Secretary General Sindiso Magaka after he was shot dead in 2017. While speculation surrounding Ndobe's death is rife, the ANC's Nhlakanipho Ntombela said police investigations were continuing. And moving further afield, Joe Biden is inching closer to victory after a bitter presidential election, appealed on Friday to Americans to turn the page on divisions as a seething Donald Trump warned him not to declare victory. As trickling returns from Pennsylvania and 3 other states made Trump's path to a second term increasingly unlikely, Biden repeated that he believed he would win but said he would wait for the process to be complete. Instead, Biden delivered a late night of more than 127,000 cases. Biden spoke as U.S. directed at the president for months over his administration's handling of the crisis. And
welcome, guys, to Leicester on Saturday. We were not here last week, and we are here today. Thank you.
Now, handsome. Oh, thank you.
Thank
you.
Yeah, this week has been a week of many, controversies. Of course, the elections. I think we're still following that. Yes. But by the way, I mean, in my mind, I think this is probably the longest that we have had to wait for the declaration.
Yes.
As far as the U.S. elections is concerned. And I don't know, maybe I'm losing it there, but I feel, from Tuesday, even up until now, we don't have the final results
No, we don't, because I think what they're doing now, they are not like updating each and every state now. Because of this, also the speak who had that Trump now is busy doing, not wanting people to say the same things.
So they're holding back,
So they're holding back each and every result now up until right to the very end.
So they're waiting to, could it be they are waiting to surpass the 270? And then maybe start trickling down the results or what?
I think so, but we just have to wait and see because we're just being kept in suspense now.
Yeah, big time. But by the way, I mean, I do think that, when you look at the numbers and what is happening, I do think Biden has got this,
I think so too.
And it's about time, Trump has been... I don't know, he's been, I say, and people will forgive me, but I always say that he is the American Zuma, or the Zuma of America. So they can't say they've never had their own Zuma. In Trump, they did have. So, Yes. And then the other thing, I mean, the Yake Kwinana issue and Sisi Ututumieni. It's horrible, I must say. Whereas for me, I see, yeah, okay, but I mean, she was horrible.
That one-liner.
One-liner.
It just hits, like, it just... I was moved in the beginning. I'm like, okay. And then she kept on going. And apparently, Deputy Judge Zondo is saying that she is allowed not to say things that are going to implicate her. But to me, it just sounded monotonous every time she said. And she basically doesn't want to be upfront with the information. And then out of the blue now, she mentions who the whistleblower is. I mean, she just blurts it out. I mean, that is wrong. That is wrong.
Big time. And I think for me, there are a lot of funny things. I mean, she wants... She said there was a time where she says, look, she's been involved with the policy around, the issue of conflict of interest. And she would like Hofmeyr to go on reading that.
Yes.
And then when she's asked about things that are pertaining to that policy, she doesn't want to incriminate herself. It's very strange. And then Ubuzwage Pestega president, whom she's running, a foundation.
How can you not know?
I don't want to incriminate myself. So
how do you incriminate yourself when you know someone's birthday?
I don't know.
Really.
Look, I think they both have been really disrespectful of the Zondo Commission, in my view, and they have not presented themselves very well, I think, in my view. Of course, I mean, if you've been involved in all of the shenanigans, at least, I mean, the advices from the lawyers should have been much more thorough than what they have been given. I think I do feel like there was a lot of wrong that they've done, and for them, it's not helping them in the process.
That's why the legal counsel is saying that, she's, a dishonest, witness.
And then the other one, I mean, the other news in the province, of course, we heard the funeral did happen this week of the little girl. Yes. And, again, condolences to the family. So it was, I think the community, the premier was there, and everyone, seemed to put in their 2 cents into making sure that the funeral comes out well. And I think, part of the problems that we have in the society, they need to be really dealt with. It's sometimes I think when I spoke, Cape Town and it feels like,
far away from us.
Yeah, and you feel that there's something wrong about this, but then there's a certain way that you feel.
Yeah, of course. And I don't think anyone wants to bury their child, to that type of, situation that happened.
Yeah. No, most definitely. And guys, we have a packed show today, and I think we must put it out there that the premier asked for us to postpone. We were supposed to have the premier Namhlanje, so he has asked for us to postpone the conversation with him. We don't know yet when we are going to get the second date, but we are still looking forward to having that conversation with the premier. So today our show is packed. Of course, we are going to be speaking about issues, IEC elections. There is a by-election that's happening this week. So we have Mr. Maki from the IEC to talk to us about that. Then after that, we'll also be tackling Indoza Madoda. We have Rev Sam here to talk about Eastern Cape Men's Movement. So there's a couple of interesting things that we had spoken about during the week. And I'm sure, as we begin to tackle them here, many people will actually get their eyes opened up on the subject. And then we have also an artist, finally, you're going to see someone playing an instrument here. So Rahim Lowhand is here in the studio. I don't know why it's Bizanga Logama, but he is Rahim Lowhand, so it's a stage name. He's going to be presenting a very beautiful sort of a closer show here to Namhlanje. So that's what we have for you guys. It's Leicester on Saturday once more. Spoky, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, yes.
Yeah, we'll see you
at 7. And I said when I started the bulletin, it's news at 7, It's a Saturday. That's what happens when you go on a break,
Okay, guys, let's take a break and then we will go into the show. So don't go away. Keep watching. We'll just take a small break.
True Prop, connecting people and property. Situated in the seaside town of Konobi in East London, Kings Mall Shopping Centre is a one-stop shopping destination for local visitors and residents. Featuring ample parking, easy access to all shops and other services, the mall offers an ideal mix of tenants, including retailers, fast food outlets, medical suites, a pharmacy, as well as various restaurants. A lock-up and go storage facility is also situated at the mall. We still have space for you for immediate occupation. Sign up now and only start paying in January 2021. Terms and conditions apply. At number 57A Western Avenue, Vincent, East London, we have a commercial property with 322 to 362 square meters. These impressive offices are located over 3 floors and include breakout areas, extendable meeting rooms, and modern finishes. In Arcadia, we have industrial warehouse with 217 to 496 square meters. This prime manufacturing space is situated in the busy industrial corridor of Arcadia. The unit would ideally suit light industrial-based operations. For more information on these specials, visit our website on www.trueprop.co.za or call us on 084 600 3840.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching Leicester on Saturday, so we promised you a great show, and today is one of those. So every time we come here, this show is meant for you, to give you information, to entertain you, to make sure that whatever is happening in our province, or in the country is laid bare for you to actually understand what's happening. So today, Mr. Siyabonga Maki, who is the electoral manager at the IEC, we are going to be talking about the by-elections that will be happening, next week, Wednesday. So we're going to be asking a few questions around, the operation, and maybe some of the questions that we'll get into, find out about their readiness next year, because next year we're doing elections, there's a local government, and everyone is anxious and looking forward to that. We don't know whether, by next year when we get to those elections, we'll still have the same, government as it were leading us, APCM, so in many other sort of municipalities. But now, by elections happening. Mr. Maki, kunjani namhlanje?
Siyaphila tata, akhondo Leicester, kuhle kunjani?
Siyaphila man, akhondo zimbi. I hope iveki yakho iphethe kahle.
Hectic, but okay.
Yeah, and namhlanje your weekend akhondo noko zikwenza busy.
Namhlanje sigqibezela ukudeliverisha i-security material to the affected municipalities.
Okay.
We started with that process on Friday.
Oh, okay.
We do deliveries in 2 batches. The first one is what we call bulk material.
Okay.
Things that can be stored at a school or somewhere else. But the next one, which is the last one, is the security material,
okay,
which includes the ballot papers,
okay,
voters roll, and all the sensitive things around.
So when CCT, we electoral manager, operations manager, what does that mean?
The structure of the IEC in the province is that we have a provincial electoral officer, somebody who is the head of the province.
Okay.
And in this case, it's Ms. Kayakazi Makutumana.
Okay.
Now, underneath there, you have a manager, electoral operations.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the structure goes down. So I am just a second in command.
Okay.
Yeah, so to speak.
Okay. So let's talk about these by-elections and where they are, and the meaning then of these by-elections. Because sometimes, I know for myself, I've never been involved in by-elections. You always hear about these things and you don't know what it really means, and what then or how, we get there to do it by election. So let's start there. What does this mean, and where is this going to be happening?
Okay. I'll give you an answer as to why you
Yes.
you hardly hear about by-elections and you never take part therein.
Yeah.
It is because they take part. They take place sporadically.
Okay.
Yeah, and it will be one ward in one municipality per province at a go, and then 2 or 3 months later. But now you hear a lot about it. There's a hullabaloo because it's a lot of by-elections.
Okay.
That have been clubbed together and to take place on one day.
Okay.
Normally, these by-elections would have taken place in a staggered manner over a period of time.
Yeah.
But because of the pandemic, we had to hold back on having by-elections. The first one was supposed to have happened in around 29th of March.
Wow.
And the last one was declared about 3 months ago, so it is duly taking place now.
Oh,
So
at that time, 29th of March, that was a hard
we were
lockdown.
on lockdown.
Yeah.
We were 2 days
Yeah.
on lockdown
Yeah.
and on that date. So we had to hold back and develop some, the COVID protocols on how we would, deal with by-elections, because there are 2 types of vacancies that we deal with. When we talk about a by-election, it means that there is a ward that has been left vacant. But then at council, there is also what is called a PR councillor. A PR councillor is just an administrative work that takes place in the offices. So we have been dealing with that even when we were on hard lockdown.
Okay.
But now the by-election, you have to have people at the voting station. So we had to wait a bit. Yes. So
yes.
You were saying where are they taking place?
Yes.
The by-elections for the 11th of November 2020 are taking place in 13 municipalities in the province. 13 municipalities in 19 wards and in 117 voting stations. Yeah, that's what we are.
So this is a big project.
It's a it's a mini election.
Yeah.
It's a mini election, so to speak. Yeah. So and for us, it serves us as a dress rehearsal.
Yes.
As it
for
were.
next year.
For next year.
So talk to me. I mean, you are dealing with this now. What could be maybe the cause of the vacancies as Bangel Bakubekona these by-elections now? Okay. I mean, yes, we've spoken, but just maybe 1 or 2. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just give you a full package of when a by-election is held. One, the reason for a vacancy is 1, death, expulsion of a councillor from the party, or expulsion by the NEC, or termination of membership by the party, or resignation for that matter. So it's a combination of all these. Yes, but I can tell you that all the wards that are involved, 19 of them, they were under the ANC. Okay. Yeah. So now the parties are coming in to contest, and then we will see what happens.
So could it be any of the councillors maybe passed on due to COVID? Have you had any such feedbacks?
No, for this there's no death.
There's no death.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
No, it's
expulsion and yeah, wow. Because I mean that's very strange. That's 19 people basically that now are being replaced.
Yeah.
So I mean we hear that. So the process obviously of doing by-elections has begun in earnest. But what was the process in terms of registration and all of that for the people who are going to be voting, and maybe also marketing was it your responsibility or was it the responsibility of the parties to make sure that the information goes out there in terms of the by-elections that are happening?
Any election is a responsibility of the IEC.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we do. And the publicity, we do it ourselves.
Okay.
But now parties do what is called campaigns. They're campaigning for votes for their own party.
Okay.
The preparations included a registration weekend, which was held on the 3rd and 4th of October.
Okay.
Yeah, this year.
Yes.
We had a registration weekend, and then people came in numbers and registered. Some came to change their details. Some came to just supply us with addresses, because there are those voters for whom we do not have addresses. Yeah. So we saw a total of 3,848 people coming to visit our voting stations.
Yes.
All these that I've mentioned for various reasons. But for the new registration figures stand at 1,112, something like that.
So would these be people in those wards? But it doesn't mean that those are new registrations.
New registrations.
But you have in general people who are already registered to vote in those wards. So you naturally have more numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an add-on.
Yeah, it's an
okay.
add-on.
Okay. So the IEC is obviously now, as you were saying, this is a dress rehearsal, and we are heading towards a big one.
Yeah.
Next year. A lot of people are looking forward, and I'm sure Nani Senibona, in terms of the politics of the day, that next year is going to be a very big one. How far would you say, in terms of your own preparations, you obviously are talking by-elections are just by the way, but it's obviously a very important part, because it's by the way, it's not important. It's a very important part. But obviously the big one is next year.
True. Yeah, the big one is next year, and legislation says that it must take place between the 2nd of August to the 3rd of November.
Okay.
Because legislation, the term of the current councils expires on the 2nd of August, because the elections were held on the 3rd of August 2016. Now, legislation says that within a period of 90 days, which is 3 months, IEC must conduct and manage elections.
Okay.
So we are preparing for that. All things are going accordingly. Yes, there are delays here and there because of the pandemic. For example, we were supposed to have received ward maps from the MTB in August, but we just received them now last week in November. So there's just those few delays, but we do not have an option but to hold those elections within the stipulated time in law.
You're talking about having these elections next year around about that period between August and November. And I know that you guys are usually involved in a lot of education, training, and all of that. And the pandemic, the way it is,
Sure.
and sort of for me, the interest is around also the preparation. What happens, let's talk a little bit about what happens now next week, Wednesday, in terms of the setup. I come into a voting station.
Yes.
What happens there?
You see the usual, what you see in every public space, that you go to SASA, you go to SPA, you go to Home Affairs. All those protocols will be observed at the voting station. We will be there. Part of the materials that we procure now, especially for these by-elections going forward, is the PPEs. All our staff, election staff, must have the PPEs. So they will be having those. They will be clad in the, in the uniform, kind of. And there will be a lot of sanitization there and less touching. For example, you will still come in with your mask on, and when you produce your ID, because when the reason why we want to see your ID is to make sure that it is you who is here present. So we'll just ask you to just remove your just for that period, and then put it back on. We don't even touch your ID. We look at your where there's a physical touch, there's a sanitization that takes place. You sanitize as you walk in and as you go out.
Wow.
So the COVID-19 protocols are being observed. Yes.
Now, next year is coming, and one of the things I know that you guys are good at in terms of the training that happens, because we're doing it on a bigger scale now, and for sure the recruitment of the people that will be doing the. So how far are you in terms of your strategy as far and the pandemic is concerned and all of those things when you look into next year? And of course, I'm just talking at a high level, a helicopter level.
Yeah. Look, how we do training is our training is modular based.
Yes.
We do a total of 4 modules, starting with the introduction and the values of the IEC, coming to registration, the election, and the counting.
Yes.
Already, we are thinking of doing a combination of virtual training and physical training, less of physical, but there are those aspects of an election that you cannot do virtually.
Yes.
Like counting, for example, you have to demonstrate in front of people. So already, because of the pandemic, we are shifting for a paradigm kind of,
Yeah.
to say that this is how we should approach it, because the present times call for that.
Wow. We are talking to Mr. Siyabonga Maki, who is the Electoral Operations Manager at IEC, and we are talking about the by-elections that are happening next week on the 11th.
11th.
So the wards, what are the wards for people to know? You said 19 wards.
It's 19 wards.
19 wards.
Yes, across 13 municipalities.
13 municipalities.
Yes, yeah.
One or two of those municipalities?
It's Ward 43 and 45 in Buffalo City, where we are, for example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is happening on the 11th, and you guys can hear, if you are in those wards, about the times. What are the times? The opening times for you to come and cast their votes.
Okay. Before I answer that, I have supplied you with the whole list.
Yes.
So that you can, if you want to put it up for people, the wards and everything. Yeah. The voting times are between 7 and 9.
Yes.
7 in the morning and 9 in the evening.
Yes. So guys, go out there, and I think it's very important that the issue of time, stick to the times that you are given, and also ungayi ungena mask. Ba una mask awuzuvunyelwa.
Yebo.
Because akhona doctors will provide you mask.
No.
You go there already with your mask on, and I think it's very important also to observe on your own time, and understand what is happening there. And I hope that you guys have really a clean and smooth elections next week. What is the last thing that you want to say to the people that will be coming through?
The obvious, that if you are registered, please make an effort to go and vote.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, if you are not registered, you can't go. I mean, you can't vote in South Africa. But I just want to say one thing about the registration. The legislation has not changed insofar as that the requirement that you must present yourself in person. But there is an innovation where you want to change your address. Say you live now in Zwelitsha, but when you change address, you come and live in Berea.
Yes.
You know that you need to go and change your address so that you can vote here.
Yes.
Now, if you are registered already in Zwelitsha, you do not have to present yourself to IEC. You can simply go online and look at your details and just change as you move around. You simply go in there. There is an online, facility.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think that's nice. I mean, that's very nice, because sometimes, we've had to deal with those things. I know my wife and I, we had to vote in different sort of areas the last time we voted last year. So that's so it's a new, when was this introduced?
No, it's a new thing. It's a new thing because we want to perfect it for the coming election.
For coming election.
Yes, but already it is
in operation.
Yes, it's in operation.
So you can change your address online without having to go to IEC.
Yes.
That is possible. I mean, you go online. If you're now here, go internet cafe, get yourself there and change your.
Can I just mention the
Yes, you can.
Yeah, it's www.elections.org.za/myIEC.
My IEC.
You will get into the facility. You register yourself, and then once you register once, it will just every time you pop in, it's just like a bank app.
Yes.
Every time you pop in, it will give you what you want.
So your registration yako, you just put in your ID, okanye you do your normal registration, igama, surname, and all of those things, and ID, and then thereafter funeka ufake password yako.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wow, I think I like that.
So it's one of the innovations that.
Yeah, no, I like that invention because it's very important. Sometimes really people have to go out of their way because they are registered elsewhere, So no, thank you for that.
Sure.
Mr. Maki, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I know there's so much, but we definitely to talk about around your space, and I'm looking forward to. Closer to next year when we begin 2021, we have more conversations about your preparations and the elections that will be coming. Guys, don't go. Mr. Sam, Reverend Sam is here. We'll be talking about Eastern Cape Men's Movement, and there's a very interesting things to talk about there. So don't go away. After the break, we come back and talk about men's issues.
True Prop, connecting people and property. Situated in the seaside town of Konobi in East London, King's Mall Shopping Centre is a one-stop shopping destination for local visitors and residents. Featuring ample parking, easy access to all shops and other services, the mall offers an ideal mix of tenants, including retailers, fast food outlets, medical suites, a pharmacy, as well as various restaurants. A lock-up and go storage facility is also situated at the mall. We still have space for you for immediate occupation. Sign up now and only start paying in January 2021. Terms and conditions apply. At number 57A Western Avenue, Vincent, East London, we have a commercial property with 322 to 362 square meters. These impressive offices are located over 3 floors and include breakout areas, extendable meeting rooms, and modern finishes. In Arcadia, we have industrial warehouse with 217 to 496 square meters. This prime manufacturing space is situated in the busy industrial corridor of Arcadia. The unit would ideally suit light industrial-based operations. For more information on these specials, visit our website on www.trueprop.co.za or call us on 084 600 3840.
Welcome back to Leicester on Saturday. It is indeed a beautiful Saturday in East London. I'm loving it, even though it's better weathering on and off. In the studio, I have Reverend Kolamza Sam. He is a representative of the Eastern Cape Men's Movement, which is dealing with men's issues at broader level. So we are going to be talking to him. I know I was there when this was, launched, or in fact, it's not launched yet, but when this was actually put into being, and Kwafagwinyama, started from the skeletons and it was built up, so I was there. Reverend, welcome.
Thank you, Les.
Kunjani?
Kuhle man bhuti ninjani?
Siyaphila khonto zimbi. Usukela lini?
Yes.
Inkomo ziright yonke into.
Everything is fine. Everything is fine.
Yeah. Rev, very important subject. We continue to talk about issues Zamadoda and the repercussions that come from, these problems that we encounter, of men ravaging society, the Guguletu issue that this week was prevalent. The burial now of this young girl who was, raped, and the violence in general that is mostly perpetuated by men. The issues that men go through, all of these things, and we people continuously look for ways of trying to reach out to men and begin to say, what can we do, to make sure that men are actually having their own places where they are being talked to, or a safe space for them to actually open up about the things that they are going through. So then comes the men's movement. I want you to take us through what prompted the Eastern Cape Men's Movement.
Thank you, Les. First and foremost, what you said is very important, that men out there are at a risk, more particularly the good men. I'm talking about the good men. Every day you hear about men killing, men raping and all that. Now, there is a chance that the image of men is being eroded every day. And because of that, these men came together and say, we need to do something. And I must acknowledge that there has been men always that have been working in the space of gender-based violence, but they have been working in silos. So a few of us get together and ask the question, what can be done? Because now, even the whole country, we've had, let me say internationally, we've had people saying men are trash. And that is serious. And it's seriously damaging the image of men. And so we do have role models out there. So we needed to call out to those men to say, can we come together and have our little corner where we can talk and say, what is it that we can do? But more importantly, the young men, the boy child, we had to say to the boy child, there is hope. There is men out there. And so we came together on the 27th of August this year. This is a fairly new organization. On the 27th of August this year, we started by saying we need to pray on our own. We don't have the strength to do this. So we had a prayer against gender-based violence, which was here in East London, in Oxford Street. So after the prayer, we started to say, how can we do this? How do we move forward? Then we started to say, let's call all the organizations that are there and single men that are doing a difference in their little corner to come together. So we did indeed come together, where we had on the 2nd of September, where we had to have a strategic meeting and look at what is this one man or this organization is doing. And that was the result of what you have today, which is called Eastern Cape Men's Movement. So that we can assist each other. If we know what you are doing, and what you are doing in...
Fundisi, before we go forward, I'd like for us to take a break, and then we'll come back and, and unpack this, very important subject. So after the break, don't go away, guys. We'll unpack it a little bit more.
True Prop, connecting people and property. Situated in the seaside town of Konobi in East London, King's Mall Shopping Centre is a one-stop shopping destination for local visitors and residents. Featuring ample parking, easy access to all shops and other services, the mall offers an ideal mix of tenants, including retailers, fast food outlets, medical suites, a pharmacy, as well as various restaurants. A lock-up and go storage facility is also situated at the mall. We still have space for you for immediate occupation. Sign up now and only start paying in January 2021. Terms and conditions apply. At number 57A Western Avenue, Vincent, East London, we have a commercial property with 322 to 360.
Welcome back, guys. I still have Reverend Kolamza Sam here. We're talking about Eastern Cape Men's Movement. Fundisi, continuing from, there are various issues that are happening on this as far as men are concerned. And the obvious, everyone is talking about gender-based violence. And I think it's good, everyone would say it's good that there are organizations that have actually been born as a result of the concerns that men have around how men are being projected, the things that we are doing as men in society. So this organization is taking as an umbrella to actually help these organizations. Am I correct in saying?
You're correct.
And so what form of help will, can these organizations, get from men's movement?
Okay. Thank you, Liz, for asking that. Let me tell you, first and foremost, everybody has been saying, not in our name. And everybody has been doing awareness campaigns.
Yes.
But the issue then becomes, when your organization is out there, is it legally operating? Because at the end of the day, men's movement or any other NGO would need to be legally correct in order for you to get funding and all that. So we do help these organizations to profile them, do their profiles correctly, to see that they are registered in the databases of all the funders or social development, including CIPRO, where we register them we register the organizations, and after that we do take these guys into training and see what programs do you have, which programs talks to each funder's mandate. If your program is talking about, let's say, you're talking about drugs, which funder can you go to? Which department can you go to and say, I'm talking drugs and substance abuse. So we help you to draw up that program. That's what we do. Then some of the organizations, if you are looking where you're talking about drug, substance abuse and all that, there is a component here that nobody has not been looking at. We're all concerned about the perpetrators.
Yes.
And when it comes to the victims, what we are saying is that so-and-so, for instance, if somebody rapes somebody, we all want to go to court and say no bail and all that and shout everything else. And when the perpetrator has been arrested, we all forget about the victim.
Yeah.
The whole hulaba dies down. So we've got organizations that we are helping to say, have your focus on the victims. Assist the victims to live their normal lives going forward. That's what we are doing. And also, we're looking into the country what is happening with the perpetrators as well. One of the things that I can tell you now, in this week, a guy named Maliwongwe Mangokolo, if I'm correct, has been sentenced in the Bisho High Court.
Yes, yeah.
He has been sentenced to 7 life sentences.
Yes.
And 300 years.
300 years, yes.
Yeah, I think it's 300 years.
Yeah.
This is what we have been calling for. We've been calling for stiffer sentences. It is happening. And I think we should applaud the Department of Justice as well as the investigating officers for such work. So these are the things that we need to bring up to people to understand and to know what is happening. And if you're thinking of raping, look at this guy.
Yeah.
And it is the pressure groups. It is these guys that have been calling for these stiffer sentences. Now it's happening. So we are also assisting these guys when it comes to that. If they want to go and say no bail and all that, we also train them on how to do this thing and how to submit a petition straight to the Department of Justice so that the community speaks for itself. Because 9 out of 10 times, it is only the investigating officer that tells the magistrate that, no, the community is scared of this guy. So when there is a men's movement or any other organization that is there, we are able to assist these guys to say, this is how you write a petition, this is where you're taking it to, so that it assists the investigating officer. Because you must remember, everyone, there is a law, everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Guilty for sure.
So we as the community, we only know that he has been arrested for raping someone. But the law gives the guy a fair chance to prove whether he is guilty or not.
Yeah.
Now, the community that knows what this guy has been doing and they've been scared of him, they do nothing. They get to be represented by one man in court. So we train these communities to say, this is what you can do. This is how you put your story forward. Of course, with proof.
Yes, I want us to go, Rev, to, our time is short. But there was during the week when we spoke, I'm sure you know where I'm going.
I do.
This touched me, and this is a subject that I want, for us to put it out there and introduce it, and people can begin to mull over it, the subject of, botched circumcision,
yes.
and men that have to live with that, because truly, when we spoke about it, for me, it is the first time to actually hear any organization, in fact, or anyone speak about that traumatic experience and what it does. I'm sure any man would say if your young man, young boy dies, family, everyone is, of course, traumatized by that. But now as a young man who went there, you come out, and now all of a sudden, you're no longer the man that you were when you went in, because you no longer have the tools that, recognizes you as a man. Talk to us about that.
Les, as I told you during the week, this is something that is close to my heart and it has shocked me. We've all been saying that men should take a responsibility on these young men who went to circumcision and it gets to be botched. And nobody has been following this, and including myself. Until this day, I met this young man who trusted me enough to say, Reverend, I have a problem. I don't even know whether I'm a man or I'm a woman, because my male element. And nobody has been giving him psychological help. And he's not the only one. There's a group of these men, because we need to talk about this. There's a whole lot of them. And if we do not look in that situation, we are in danger. Because we don't know how these men think or what these men think. So the Eastern Cape Men's Movement is starting to say, we need to do something about this. We need to go out there to the people and say, these things do happen. When we talk about the circumcision school and the young boys are dying, there are those that survive but without the manhood. What happens to them?
For this, I don't know, you guys listening at home, I'm sure you can gather, this is one of the, and because I have people for me, you know, and men that are close to me that I've come to know who have actually gone through this thing, you know. And truly, and I understand how difficult it is to talk about this, you know, because even those people that I know, it is not a subject that we've ever raised, you know. It's not something that is easy to talk about, but we could have now families who are sitting with that type of situation. I'm imagining from this a young man who is sitting with a single mother, you know, raised by a single parent who happens to be a woman. How do you communicate this type of, you know, trauma that you go through on a daily basis? When men brag about, you know, their girlfriends and all of these things, but you know that you will never be able to partake in that type of setup.
Les, it is a sad situation. This young man I'm talking to you about, he was even fleeing the province. The first thing he told me that his peers knows about this thing. There are people that knows that he's no longer a man, because they regard manhood because of his element.
Yeah.
Now, he had to flee the province. He says, I'm not coming back because I can't face my friends. I can't face the people that know. Obviously, he cannot talk to his mother.
Yeah.
And there is no platform where he can talk about this. And he's not the only one. There's a number of them. So we, as Eastern Cape Men's Movement, if anybody out there is listening, we're saying, if you do contact us, we want to do something about this.
Yes.
We want to, yes, we are not experts. This is the first time we're encountering this, but we believe that if we talk about it, even other oh yes, I must tell you, Eastern Cape Men's Movement is made up of various professions. Yes. You've got your lawyers, you've got your doctors in there. So we can refer. If a man comes to us, we know exactly who we can refer to, and we will refer to a man because we've got these professionals that came forward. So it is really heartbreaking to know that there are mothers there who understand that their children will never bring them grandchildren. It is heartbreaking to know that there are young men there who are regarding themselves as not men enough. So we seriously need to talk about this. We seriously need, as Men's Movement, we have designed a program that we call Men Cycles. So everywhere where you need to, for us to come, we will come.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, even if it's one man that says, I do have this problem, we will certainly go into that area.
Yeah. Wow, Fundisi, time is against us, so I think what we must do, I would want you to give, your last words, to the listeners and other organizations that could be watching there that say, we want to be part of this. How can we get hold of you, and how do we become part of, the Eastern Cape Men's Movement?
All right. Before I go there, Les, my last words will be that wherever you are, whoever you are, be it a woman or be it a man, you have a right to call us. Gender-based violence is not a man thing. It is not a woman thing. It is a social ill.
Yes.
Everybody is affected by it. And we will take a call even if it's from a man or is it from a woman.
Yes.
What we want to do is to uproot the cause of gender-based violence. What we would like to do is to say that there are good men out there. What we would like to do, especially for the single mothers, we would like to say to them, if you call the Eastern Cape Men's Movement, we would like to have role models for your sons. You don't have to shy away. So if you would want to call us, you can call me directly on 072-396-1620. And the other number, or let me repeat it, 072-396-1620. Then the other number that can be called is 078-460-6269. Those two numbers. You can also WhatsApp on those two numbers.
Yes.
Be it anybody, be it you are a female or you are a man, you are welcome to come. Even if it's a young man, we do have young men that are in the Eastern Cape Men's Movement. We welcome organizations. We also welcome single men who would like to be part of our men's circles.
Yes.
Thank you, Les.
Okay. That is Reverend Polamza Sam, and I'm understanding that there is a men's parliament that's happening
It is happening. The men's parliament is happening under the umbrella of men's sector,
Okay.
which is under Takwani Rime nationally.
Okay.
There's a men's parliament that will take place in Cape Town on the 18th and the 19th.
18th and 19th.
Yes, and currently around the country there are district men's parliaments that are happening.
Okay. Thank you, Reverend, for coming. We wish you all the best in the work that you're doing. Of course, I'm also part of what is happening there in that space. So avail yourself, guys, to be able to make sure that men are being, rejuvenated, that men are being set right, where there are problems, that those problems are being addressed. So thank you very much, Reverend, for coming. We'll take a break, and then Smooh, which is Rahim Lowhand. The artist is here in the studio. He will be performing a great song for you guys, so don't go away. After the break, Mr. Lowhand will be doing his thing.
KNR is on the pulse of local and international content, offering audiences an opportunity to be part of the global conversation in a fast-changing and increasingly digitized world of communication. Headquartered in East London, Eastern Cape, we broadcast nationwide and stream to the world. 9 to 12 is a continuation of compelling content which appeals to our diverse society. Lulu Harmans and Nels Diniso, the producer of the show, have something customized for you.
It is a lifestyle magazine show. We range from health to relationships, celebrating women on top. And of course, on Thursdays, we focus on tourism, especially in the Eastern Cape. We bring you Your Way. Friday, we do radio according to you.
In an increasingly digitized and global economy, businesses and state entities are under pressure to stand out and create awareness about key offerings and new services. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's do radio according to you. True Prop, connecting people and property. Situated in the seaside town of Konobi in East London, Kings Mall Shopping Centre is a one-stop shopping destination for local visitors and residents. Featuring ample parking, easy access to all shops and other services, the mall offers an ideal mix of tenants, including retailers, fast food outlets, medical suites, a pharmacy, as well as various restaurants. A lock-up and go storage facility is also situated at the mall. We still have space
Lord, send me a sign. Where's my angel? Lord, send me a sign. Lord, send me a sign. Where's my angel? Lord, send me a sign. Lord, send me a sign. Where's my angel? Oh, send me a sign. Drugs and crime spreading on the streets. People can't find enough to eat. Now our kids can go out and play. That's the state of the world today. Drugs and crime spreading on the street. People can't find enough to eat. Now our kids can go out and play. That's the state of the world today. Lord, send me a sign. We need a sign now. Lord, send me a sign. Lord, send me a sign. Where's my angel? Lord, send me a sign. Yeah. Every time I open the news, there always seems to be bad news. Every time I walk outside, there's something going on. I don't know who to turn to. I don't know who to trust anymore. I don't know who to run to. This world, it makes me wanna holler. Throw up both my hands. This ain't leaving. Oh, yeah, this ain't leaving. This ain't leaving. Oh, this ain't leaving. Lord, send me a sign. Where's my angel? Oh, send me a sign. If God is love, the whole world needs more love. If God is love, the whole world needs more love. If God is love, the whole world needs more love.
True Prop, connecting people and property. Situated in the seaside town of Gonobi in East London, King's Mall Shopping Centre is a one-stop shopping destination for local visitors and residents. Featuring ample parking, easy access to all shops and other services, the mall offers an ideal mix of tenants, including retailers, fast food outlets, medical suites, a pharmacy, as well as various restaurants. A lock-up and go storage facility is also situated at the mall. We still have space for you for immediate occupation. Sign up now and only start paying in January 2021. Terms and conditions apply. At number 57A Western Avenue, Vincent, East London, we have a commercial property with 322 to 362 square meters. These impressive offices are located over 3 floors and include breakout areas, extendable meeting rooms, and modern finishes. In Arcadia, we have industrial warehouse with 217 to 496 square meters. This prime manufacturing space is situated in the busy industrial corridor of Arcadia. The unit would ideally suit light industrial-based operations. For more information on these specials, visit our website on www.trueprop.co.za or call us on 084 600 3840.
Good evening, it's 7 o'clock and these are the leading stories now at 7. We start with the news that Joe Biden has been elected as the American president with Kamala Harris as his vice president. And on now to our first bulletin. The South African Sports Confederation and Olympic Committee has elected its new leadership at its AGM this afternoon. Barry Hendricks is SASCOC's new president, assuming the role, having previously served on an interim basis, and 2 women have been elected as vice presidents. The sports mother body has a 5-to-3 gender split on its board, with 5 women and 3 men. The election comes after a year of turmoil that has split the organization. The infighting has hampered SASCOC's ability to see out its core administrative functions. President Cyril Ramaphosa vowed to bring the culprits into account while speaking at the National Union of Mine Workers Gala Dinner at UNISA in Pretoria. Ramaphosa said those responsible for corruption and looting of COVID-19 relief fund will be prosecuted, and most importantly, they'll be made to repay the money. The university had earlier conferred honorary doctorates on former NUM leaders Elijah Barayi and James Mutlatsi. Ramaphosa said South Africans need to unite in order to deal with challenges addressing the country during a deadly global pandemic. He further said the country's resources should be directed at fighting poverty, inequality, unemployment, and addressing economic growth, but corruption is derailing all these efforts. Police Minister Bheki Cele has stressed the importance of parents taking responsibility for their children's discipline. Cele, joined by his Deputy Minister Castle Matale and Deputy State Security Minister Zizi Kodwa today, hosted a ministerial imbizo in Langa in Cape Town, geared at tackling violent crimes in Cape Town communities. The minister stressed that crime can only be eradicated if residents work together with the police. Cele's visit to Langa community followed a week of shootings in some of Cape Town's most crime-rife areas. Cele said the imbizo was planned after he found kids as young as 10 years old attending a street party on a Sunday morning a few weeks ago. And that is all from the news desk this evening, and it's back to Lester.
Yes, thank you, Spooky. The breaking news.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Biden has
Yes,
won. Woo!
he has.
I think for me, the excitement is not just about, him winning. Is about the second part is Kamala Harris.
Harris, yes.
She's going to be the first black,
Vice
female.
president.
Yeah, vice president in that particular country, and she's black.
And
so
female.
and female. All of that.
It's
that's
like a whole
very nice.
back of excitement
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
Very nice.
And apparently Donald Trump left the White House and he went to his golf club. Yes, so umkilu that.
No, good riddance. I think, it's one thing that he has actually served in his period, and what is advanced is a polarized,
Exactly.
U.S. population. People, racism and all these, bigots that have, all of a
erupted
sudden,
during his term.
so he's really presided over an ugly America. We've never
he
seen
did.
anything
He
like
did.
that.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, we must also, be grateful for the week that was, and we hope also that the president really will get into the nuts and bolts as he keeps on promising.
Yes, I hope so.
That corruption will finally be taken down. And this is across the board. The country that we live in is tired of fighting a lot of things at once,
Exactly.
We got issues of violence, farm killings, gender-based violence. We have issues of corruption,
Everything at
The Zondo
once.
Commission,
I hope the Zondo Commission really, the people that are there, that are implicating or not implicating themselves, I hope that everything gets followed up, they get prosecuted. And yes, there's a lot that has gone wrong, under our watch, basically.
There's a lot of money also that's been spent on that commission. If they were saying now it's around about 800 million that's been spent already.
That is a lot of money.
So it's going to R1 billion, and we can't waste R1 billion without
On nothing.
arrests. And all
there
of
has
those
to be
things.
arrests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, we must love and leave you. Spooky, what are your last words?
To all our viewers, thank you for tuning in, and have a very good evening and a great weekend. Yes.
Yeah. From my side, guys, have a nice evening and a beautiful week ahead. But also, don't forget tomorrow, we get real with Lester in Spoky.
Yes.
It's happening, from 4 to 6.
Yes.
We'll be on radio playing some nice music. We'll have great fun there. So that's what we are doing tomorrow. But in the meantime, stay beautiful and stay strong. And we love you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.